This looks like a set out of Last of the Mohicans. I just want to go run and jump across it in dramatic fashion. Hey everybody, it's Eric from wanderwitheric.com. Today I'm out here on Mount Kearsarge in western New Hampshire. I'm ascending from the parking area to the summit. It's a beautiful day. Let's wander. The ground is wet out here. I even saw a little ice in the shade. As I was saying, here's some ice on the trail in the shady area. It's early April in New Hampshire. Not unusual to still see ice. You might be tempted to think that if there's ice on the side of this mountain, then there must be ice on the side of every mountain in New Hampshire. But that would be a slippery slope. While we're here in this beautiful spot, I wanted to talk a little bit about motivation. Today, I didn't feel motivated to come out at all. I knew I needed to. This is the best day out of the 10-day forecast. The weather's very nice today, and it would have been a shame to let this day go by without coming outside and trying to film a video or at least get some nature time. But this morning as I woke up, I was lazy, I was tired, I just didn't feel motivated at all. There's an old proverb that says the first step is half the journey. There's a lot of truth in that. Honestly, once I got out here, even on the road driving here, I started getting excited. Once I got here to Winslow State Park, where Mount Kearsarge is located, I almost got giddy with excitement. Just knowing that I'm going to be out here in this beautiful place, getting some exercise, getting some nature, getting that cool mountain air in my lungs, feeling the blood pumping and coursing through my veins as I get the exercise coming up this relatively steep hill. Although I wasn't motivated when I started, I'm motivated now. I'm about halfway up the slope. Let's carry on and get to the summit. Some parts of this trail are pretty hard to follow. The only way you can really tell for sure is these yellow markings on certain trees. One thing that just occurred to me is that this time of year, in the spring, if you're in a cooler place like New Hampshire, the hiking trails on the south side of the mountain are going to be getting more sun and therefore less ice. I'm on the north side of this mountain. It's pretty icy. Not a big deal, but you just got to watch your step. Last thing you want to do is turn an ankle or break a leg way out here, a long way from help. Of course, if worst came to worst, I do have spike shoes that I could use for the ice. Yellow paint on the tree up there. I'm still on the right track. I must admit, it's been a few years since I've done a serious hiking trail like this. It's kind of kicking my butt a little bit. But I've been wanting to get out and do this sort of thing more often. So no better time to start than now. It's green and beautiful around here. Something tells me I'm getting close to the summit. The views are getting more spectacular, although hard to see through the trees here. And if I look uphill, there isn't a whole lot left up there. So I must be getting close. New Hampshire isn't called the granite state for nothing. Lots of granite around here. It's fun to remember when you're walking on granite, you're actually walking on the heart of an ancient volcano. Now this is a nice view. And I'm not even to the summit yet. It's a snow-capped peak off in the distance in that direction. Might be Mount Washington. We're definitely getting close to the top now. The vegetation is thinning out. Fine view from up here. The white mountains in the distance. I've got to climb up that tower and survey the surroundings. Alright, here I am at the top of Mount Kearsarge. I made it. While I'm here at the summit, I wanted to talk about balance. Back on the trail there were patches of ice, and there were some jagged rocks, and there were some fairly steep slopes that had to be climbed. So it was important for me to physically keep my balance as I climbed. But also balance comes into play because here we are out in nature, and it's absolutely spectacularly beautiful out here. And getting out into nature can help to provide balance in our lives because we live in a technological industrial society and we're surrounded by artificial things and unfortunately sometimes artificial people too. Being out here in nature can help to balance that with real things, real earth, real trees, real rocks, real sky, just real sunlight on your skin. All those real things are a great counter for all the artificial things that we're surrounded with so often in our day-to-day lives. A red marker. That must be my way home. Alright, here's where the path diverges. I came up on the Barlow trail, going back on the Winslow trail. Expecting it to be a little steeper, so watch my footing carefully. Mountaintop moonrise. The old shock absorbers are taking a pounding today. Whip them back into shape again. The next time you're out on a nature hike, observe the people that you come across on the trail. Are any of them frowning? Are any of them sad? Are any of them upset or angry? Very rarely. Almost everybody that I've encountered on this hike has a big smile on their face. They're really happy to be out here on such a beautiful day, getting some exercise and enjoying nature. Being outside in nature on a day like this, on a trail, on a hike, it just brings out something deep in our soul. One great thing about coming out into nature is that the people you encounter on the trails are some of the nicest, friendliest, happiest people that you're going to encounter in any aspect of life. So if you got too many negative people in your life, get out and hit the trails and you'll meet some nice people. This is the steepest part of the trail so far. If you took a nasty spill in this kind of terrain, you'd probably hurt yourself. The road to Everest starts at Kearsarge. I don't know if I'll ever be ambitious enough to try and climb Everest. That's quite a tall task. But I would like to visit the base camp someday. And that is pretty doable from what I hear. Anyhow, it's nice to get out and go hiking again in a serious manner, which I haven't done for a few years. I think I was actually at this mountain the last time I did a serious hike. If nothing else, this should signal the beginning of a summer filled with outdoor adventures. There's several months of fine weather to come, and I'm just getting started. I want to get out and do a lot more of this sort of thing. I just want to reiterate that I'm no expert at any of this. I've been on a handful of hikes in my life, some more spectacular than others, some more strenuous than others, but I would not call myself an expert by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm out here getting some practice on a fairly small mountain. Maybe I'll want to do some bigger mountains in the future, or maybe I'll do more flatland stuff, or maybe I'll do some combination of the two. We'll see where the wanders take us. Well, I'm nearly back to the parking lot now. I don't know about you, but I had a wonderful time. I'm glad you decided to wander with Eric today. I'll be back to take you wandering again soon. Until then, keep exploring. Yay, mission accomplished. We made it, but we can't forget the all-important tick check. It was the beautiful sun. The warm sun was shining on my skin, and the cool air. The warm sun and the air. Once I got here to the state park, Rawlins State Park, is that this time of year, early 2,937 feet. Not much to brag about. As I was walking up, my feet and some slopes that had to be climbed. So I had to keep my balance on my feet while I was climbing the trail, while I was on the trail. I had to keep my balance on my feet while I was walking the trail. So being out in nature can help to balance that with real things. Real solid concrete, real solid things. It's something about nature just brings out something about nature just brings out an innate core part of our human being that gets a thrill. That it's part of who we are as a species. It's part of who we are. And I've been on a handful of hikes in my life. Some of them were pretty good, some of them not so good. I've been on a handful of hikes in my life. Some pretty spectacular, some... I'll be back to take you on an... I'll be back to take... Until then,